Welcome to your 3-point perspective sketching demonstration. So I have already sketched number 1. So actually start out from the beginning. You're going to divide your 9 by 12. This should be the last piece of your white drawing paper. It's a little bit thicker. And you would divide it in half. And this time I did make a little mark, and I made a little mark to make a line to divide. Because you're going to have sketch 1, sketch 2. I will do sketch 3 for you. And if you need a 4th sketch, or you can like write down your questions as you encounter them, and then you can put them into your Google Doc. So it just gives you an extra space for a 4th sketch, or to write down your questions, and then you will type them into your Google Doc so I can actually read them and answer them for you. Okay, so for this one, my horizon line is high, and I'm looking down at my VP number 3. So this is a bird's eye view. I like this one compared to this one. I think just it's visually more balanced. I have some room for negative space. I was thinking of adding like sun and a little bit of clouds, and then I can use the sun as a vanishing point for my shading. Sketch number 2, the horizon line is really low, so it's a worm's eye view looking up at VP number 3. Remember, you can move your third vanishing points wherever you want. I just wouldn't get them really close to, I mean, I kind of keep it somewhat central. If you get it really close to the vanishing points over here, like I did, you have really extreme viewpoints when you get to the edges. So I don't love this one. I like the centerpiece. But I don't love this one. And so this one was a little bit difficult because I could see inside at the bottom, I could see inside at the top. So when I was doing all of my interior corners, I had things that were covering this corner. So I did have to kind of draw them. I have this little point to line up like where the corner would be for the interior angle here at the top. And so one last thing I don't think I showed you guys that I do want you to have, and I'm just going to take a scratch piece of paper and do this. So you don't have to do this, just watch. I have my horizon line, my third vanishing point, so I have my corner. So you can mass produce. I do all my corners. And let's say I have VP over here, VP over here. And then I can do all my tops and bottoms at once. So right-hand side top, right-hand side bottom. So that's one way to kind of go faster. If you do all your sides at once and do all your tops and bottoms at once, that's true for the windows, true for anything else you're going to build. Okay, so then I wanted to show you guys what if you want to be able to see into it. So I did show you this, but I want a more simple view for you. So you're taking those outside corners. At the bottom, this one's on the right, so you're going to line up the corner with the left. And that goes all the way to the left vanishing point. You're going to line up the left corner with the right vanishing point. Okay, so that goes all the way. And then here is where that inside corner would be. So at the top, so if you want to draw the inside of something, and that does go all the way to that vanishing point on the left, and then this is the upper left, so it's going to go to the right vanishing point. And then it tells me right here is where that back corner is. So if I wanted to make something kind of lining up, these should line up in theory, or you might, like due to human error, they might be a couple degrees off. So I'd probably scooch this one over, scoot that one over, or scoot that one over entirely. So that's how you find the inside at the bottom and the inside at the top. If you wanted to actually shade it to look like it's the top underside, so let's say you have like another structure, always use your ruler. Let's say you had another structure of the bottom, or you have the actual bottom that you're looking down into, depending on your viewpoint. So I just wanted to show you guys that, just in case that is a question, how do you draw the inside of something? So I did print off some, because I have a printer, but if you don't, you can always like put stuff together in a Google Doc. I just found stuff online that I liked. I like those little walkways. That's how I kind of got the idea for these, but I was not copying. I liked this structure, so I tried it out here in a slightly different viewpoint. I liked the stacked one here. So I think I'm gonna use this one for my next one, I believe. And this one a little bit, I just wanted to look at like the windows on that one. So I gathered some materials that I liked to help myself draw. Most definitely with 3-point perspective, you need something to help yourself draw. Okay, so for this one, I am gonna go off the paper. So I'm gonna use my same papers that I used before, except not as extreme. So I'm just gonna line up on that line. And I'm just flipping them over. Okay, so for my third sketch, I'm gonna try a cropped view. And I like the idea of the archways. I kind of want to like curved arches though. So I like this idea of things going in and out, but I think I'm going to try that in a different view, but maybe still bird's eye, but cropped. And then maybe I want to try arched because I do like this structure. I think that looks really cool. Just the whole sketch I don't like. So I'm taking pieces of what I like from other sketches. So your options for sketching are, you could do 3 views of the same structure. So let's say I wanted to draw this or something similar. This currently is in bird's eye. Maybe I want to try it in worm's eye, and then I want to try a cropped view. So that's 3, or I can do 3 totally different ideas. So that's kind of what I'm doing, although I am sticking with multiple structures for my idea. Or you can do a combo, like 2 different viewpoints of one, a different viewpoint of another, etc. So remember, in your Google Doc, there will be a list of what your sketching options are and what your options are for subject matter. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be my horizon line. I'm going to go out just a little bit further, but not all the way. Maybe like to there. So I have my VP2 on the right. So I just kind of like look at it and start building and then decide, you know, kind of trial and error at this point. Like find some pictures that you like. Okay, VP3, I'm gonna go down over here. And so yes, you are gonna label them. That way, if I say, hey, you know, the side of the building doesn't line up with VP3, then you can kind of tell what you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to do my corner. And I'm going to stay, in this front one, I'm going to stay below the horizon line. So that does go to my 3rd vanishing point, but I'm stopped because this is the edge of like my border or like the frame of my image. Okay, so I'm going to stop, but it does go all the way to VP2. I'm going to have a shorter side and then a longer side. Okay, left side to the left vanishing point, and then I'm just going to stop, but that does continue all the way. All right, so now I'm going to do my sides. So the sides line up with my 3rd vanishing point. Making sure my vanishing point and what I'm lining up with are on the same side as the ruler. Like I'm not like that, where it lines up here and it lines up here and it's not on the same side. So just be a little bit careful. Okay, so that does continue down. Okay, so then I have my top that I need to draw. So I'm gonna take those 2 corners, and this right-hand corner is gonna go to the left vanishing point because this side is going to be parallel in reality. So therefore, they use the same vanishing point. Okay, and then the left side to the right vanishing point. And when I hit it, I just stop. And that line does go all the way to that right vanishing point. It's less erasing. We're working smarter, not harder. Okay, so I think I want to build on top of that. So I'm going to keep that like another corner. I'm going to go not quite to the edge of the structure. Remember, that does go all the way to that vanishing point. Okay, right hand side. And I'm going to go a little bit longer, maybe like there. Sorry, left-hand side, sorry. And you don't have to draw this for your sketches. I actually don't really want you to copy me for your sketches because I want you to come up with your own original designs. So in the classroom, I normally do not sketch with you guys. I just present it and have you start sketching, and then I help you with your sketches. But since for those of you staying home, I'm not there to help you, I do want you to be able to see finished sketches. And since hardly any of you reach out and ask questions, I want you to be as least confused possible. So I will post a picture of my sketches. Do not copy me. Again, do not copy me. Like if you're like, oh, I kind of like that, but I'm going to change it, and I'm going to change this, I'll change that. You can start how I start, but then do not copy me. You're not really learning anything if you're copying. I mean, you are, but you already learned the stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make these archways, like curved archways, I believe. So I'm going to go a little bit thicker here, a little bit thinner there. Get my openings. Okay, so since this is below my eye level, below the horizon line, I wouldn't be able to see the top. I'd only be able to see the side. And the side I know is, okay, here's the corner, is to the left of the corner. So I'd be able to see the left-hand side and the inside. Okay, so I'm going to do X marks the spot in the inside of the opening because I want to find out where the center of the curve would be if this was an archway. Okay, so X marks the spot, then I'm going to find the center with the third vanishing point. Okay, that does line up, but I just make a mark here. That's all I really need. I just need it at the top. So I'm going to erase, clean all that up. Okay, so if I wanted to curve this, then I'm going to curve into what's there. Okay, then I'm going to take the side of it. Actually, let me erase. And then, of course, you would clean up your lines and line it up and erase things that you don't need. So I'm going to take that and curve into itself pretty quickly because I can't really, from this viewpoint, I wouldn't be able to see the underneath. Okay. Okay, so let's say I want to do that on the other side. Then I would do the same on the other side, but really what I want is something to come through here. So I am going to, I like those post things because then I feel like I can do like something on the ends of them. I can add and be a little more creative with my sketches. So I'm going to go from the second vanishing point. Okay. So then my cutoff is going to be from VP number 1 let's continue that a little bit. Okay, so if I want to show this as a thickness, if I want the edge of it, like be able to see the thickness like it's a board or something, the corner always goes to the third vanishing point. So I'm going to draw a little corner that goes all the way to the third vanishing point. And then I'm going to use that to draw the thickness of the edge of it. I'm going to go behind. Okay. And then, oh, that little corner I didn't draw to the third vanishing point. I don't know how long I need it, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Okay, so then taking this corner, I'm going to align it to my VP number 1. Okay, then I can erase. Just an extreme view from up front. And then I just erased out, I did do a little bit of shading just so you guys could see it a little bit better, but you do not have to shade at all. If you don't, you know, if you want to, you can. I mean, some people really love this and you want to, but what we will do, I wouldn't do a whole lot of shading. I just shaded like the thicknesses. So to me, it looked more three-dimensional as I was drawing it. But I wouldn't shade a whole lot because we're going to use this as practice for shading before you shade on your final draft. So we'll use it as like practice shading. We'll practice mark making a little bit. Okay, so notice how heavy and dark I'm drawing, and notice how you can still see all my ghost lines. So on my final draft, I definitely have to fix that. Okay, so then I think I'll add some arches on here. So I would definitely do like with the ruler, X marks the spot to find the center. And I think I want arches on this side, so I do the X marks the spot. I think I'll leave this side as is. So then if I wanted it to look like you can actually see the other side of this, you can see right here that corner still showing, oops, sorry. You can still see that corner where it's showing through. And if I want to be able to see the inside, oh, it's barely any. Flip over my ruler. I always test it out. Oh. That would be this side. So this side would be this side, and the opening would be over here. So if I wanted to act like there's another opening, I could, but it's not more over there. I'd probably just leave this and maybe like do shading and some mark making later on. But I have that interior corner because then it looks like you can see into it. Okay, so I would definitely add another structure. So I would add maybe like one going behind. It's like another corner, and then I would do, I mass produced. I got my corner, and then do my other side, the other side. Oh, we don't want that to be see-through. Or maybe you do. All right. Okay, so then I would do all my tops and bottoms. So since I can't see where it ends, I'm just dealing with the top. So top left to the left vanishing point, top right to the right vanishing point. Right. Okay, so I kind of clean it up. Maybe I want to stack another structure on top of that. I think I'd probably make this look like an archway as well. So I kind of just like build my structure that's in front and kind of add stuff around it. If then I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I want like a piece kind of like sticking out like that, or I want something like this sticking out. Well then, if you're gonna have something sticking out, I start with a corner, so I am gonna draw a piece that sticks out over here, like a awning or like a balcony or whatever it might be. So I'm gonna make it kind of small. Start with a corner. Then anything to the left goes to the left vanishing point. So let's say I'm gonna have it attached to this edge. Okay, to the right goes to the right vanishing point. And I'm gonna go past the structure so it looks like it's actually sticking off of it. Okay, so then let's say I'm gonna cut off here. Well, my cutoff, then I'm gonna use my third vanishing point. Let me erase stuff inside that so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so this edge used the left vanishing point, so this edge over here is gonna also use the left vanishing point. And if all went well, then I can line up this part with my right vanishing point. Maybe it cuts off for me. It should cut off near the edge. Ooh, we're gonna cheat a little bit. I'm off by like a 2 or 3 degrees, which is normal because you're human. So I scooched it over a little bit. So if you want things sticking off, you always start with a corner. Always, always, always. So then let's say I wanted another one. Well, then I would mass produce my corner. So I do another corner and I would line up. And then I would do another corner, getting smaller. And then I would line up and I would do it. And that's pretty much all that would fit there. So always use your ruler, and even on your sketches. So we'll review what you need in your Google Doc. There is room for a fourth sketch if you don't like any of the three, or you like pieces of it, want to do a fourth sketch for your final. And so when you're totally done, I'm going to say this is my favorite, and I'm going to star it. This is my favorite sketch. This is the one that I'm going to ask questions about. This is the one that you're going to get feedback on. So you're going to indicate to me which is your favorite sketch. And if you're like, none of them, well, there you can, now you got to do a fourth one, and hopefully that's the one that you like. You guys also make sure that your name and period are at the bottom of each of your papers as well. Okay, have fun sketching.